Hello, welcome to another video. It's been a long time, and I thought I'd just hop on here and talk to you guys a little bit about what it means to be a dropshipper in 2024, some life lessons, and some stuff that I think is insightful to you guys as e-commerce individuals. So if you guys know who I am, then you've obviously seen me from Instagram, because that's where I gain my notoriety. Outside of that, though, I see a lot of young people in my DMs on Instagram, which is exciting because I've been doing dropshipping for almost 10 years now. So the space has changed quite a bit from when I first started dropshipping back in 2015. 9 years dropshipping, but I've been in e-commerce since 2013. If I was to traject where it is now and where it's going in the future, I have some insight on this because I've been in the space for 10 years. And one thing I can say for certain is it's not going anywhere. E-commerce is getting more and more popular. We have TikTok Shop coming out, which is basically a direct competitor to, I wouldn't say Amazon, but it's propelling the influencer market, which is now the new economy online, right? So if we're going to talk 10 years ago, they could maybe hear about a product from a magazine, or they could be influenced from sort of the city, right? So billboards or advertorials outside, or a commercial on TV. That's what made people buy products. Whereas now, if I'm going to buy running shoes, I'm going to buy running shoes based off of the influencer that I follow online and the shoes that he wears. If I'm going to buy a car, I'm going to buy a car because of the type of person that I follow that has that car, and something that I see inside of myself, inside of that individual. And this is, I guess, a form of influencer marketing. And that's been the major change, contrasting 10 years ago. There was no influencer marketing back then. It was really just brands. So the dropshipping space and having dropshipping transition into an inventory-based warehouse setting in the United States with TikTok Shop is funny because that's working backwards. So it's implementing the new characteristic of influencer marketing whilst working in reverse with the fulfillment side, which is turning back in time. So as opposed to fulfilling through a Chinese 3PL, you now have to fulfill in-house, which can cause some issues if you guys haven't navigated those things before. That's one of the reasons why I sold my swimwear company and transitioned into a dropshipping approach. So to give you guys some insight, I think it's important, first of all, to just talk about theoreticals and what could happen to dropshipping in the future with the implications of artificial intelligence and what this means for young individuals getting into the space. Because I think I see a lot of propaganda online specifically for dropshipping, and a lot of these agencies will try and come out with the next big thing, right? So you have SMMA, you have AI now, you have all of these done-for-you agencies that are being propelled into the industry through TikTok and through lifestyle content. But one thing that I found true to be the massive benefactor of my life is sticking with one thing. I've been dropshipping exclusively since 2013. I made my first million technically dropshipping, so with a product outside of my swimwear company, in 2017. That was, I believe, 4 years after. Most of my audience is between the ages of 25 and 35, and I lean more into intermediate and advanced, which I like because a lot of my strategies and a lot of the things that I am good at cater to that understanding level. And I have a innate responsibility catering to this level because you get shit tested on your strategy quite a bit. So if I'm just sitting here preaching something that isn't working, every single person that watches my content who is advanced and intermediate knows. They're gonna know, because if you've gone through the trials and tribulations of 10 years of e-commerce, or even just advanced dropshipping, and you've scaled to $50,000, $100,000 days, one thing that I take pride in is not having content that I'm feeding you with 24/7, but when I come out with content, it's explosive in the space and it makes an impact. And a lot of this comes down to just being in the mud and being active in the industry still. So I'm not full-time guru. 50% of my income, I'd say monthly, still comes from dropshipping on a direct-to-consumer level. And a lot of the strategies that I'm coming out with are from the actual implementation personally. And then I just decided to release it to the FutrGroup members. And then I released theoreticals for free on YouTube. So my process from start to finish is implementation first. And then when I bring it to video package, it's already been in use for a while and tested for a while. And one of the ones that I just came out with, I'm very proud of, and it's the engineered documentation for verified personal business managers. But if you guys don't remember, I came out with the Canadian business manager strategy, which basically TikTok at the time wasn't representing CPM currency conversion rates. So you were getting 30% off the top because of the conversion rate between USD and CAD, which means your CPMs were effectively 30% cheaper on the Canadian ad accounts. And if this doesn't make sense to you, then that's okay, because it's tailored towards advanced and intermediate. But if you want it to make sense to you, then following the right people in the space is something that's going to be very important to you. And I sound like an old head when I say that, because I always find that whenever I see dropshipping gurus or any guru sort of badmouth other individuals, it's out of a jealousy perspective. Whereas from my perspective, I think that we all have our own little space, and we all have our own audience, and we all have our own personal strong suits. And if you follow one particular individual for their knowledge and inputs, it doesn't mean that you have to hate another individual just because they don't align as individuals. You know what I mean? Education is a blank playing field, and you can learn from all different facets of life. It doesn't just have to be, oh, I only mess with this guy. So something to keep in mind when you're navigating this wild west of a space called e-commerce, especially dropshipping, and especially in the short labyrinth of the Instagram world, right? Because that sort of has subsector niches. We have our own niches in the dropshipping space, like Twitter, like TikTok, like Instagram, whatever the gurus, wherever they populate to, they're gonna create their own little communities in. And I think that's cool and inspiring to look at and to be able to navigate as somebody in the space. Where I think dropshipping is going in 10 years, I think is a valuable question, because as somebody who's been there 10 years ago to seeing to where it's moving 10 years from now is something that I spend a lot of time thinking about. And the reason why is because what's made me successful in those years that I was actively in the mud working on dropshipping was to be prepared for the life events that happened and to be able to transition into winning products and have the tools necessary in order to wildly scale during those periods. So whether it's mastering TikTok ads when TikTok ads weren't popular, so that when they did become popular, we were one of the best at advertising at that period of time. That posed a 10x value. And same thing with Facebook at the time, with Facebook credit lines, with Facebook ad accounts, and keeping them active during that period of time where they were going down, or even tracking optimization post iOS. These little things that we're optimizing for before shit hits the fan ultimately poses the biggest success when those days come and other people haven't been prepared for it. In the next 10 years, following the trajectory of where these problems or where these opportunities may lie are very important throughout your e-commerce journey and experience. So one of the biggest things that I see online now, which I'm always excited to watch, are young individuals having their first 50K day, 100K day, 250K day, $1 million a month. And I remember how that feels. And I remember the opportunity feeling of having that happen. And the world feels lighter under you when you've never had a win. And when you get your first win, the air under your feet seems to just levitate you, because you understand what that means from an opportunity perspective. Half of dropshipping, especially when you're starting out and you only have a couple of $1,000 to your name, it's so stressful because you understand that the risk of losing that money with the product not working is hours of your time to regain that money, especially if you work for your money with a 9-to-5, which I'm assuming most of the people of the world do, which is great. But that could be very scary to navigate when you're thinking of trying dropshipping for the first time. And for my advanced and intermediate people, the correlation or the example that I like to use is scaling to those big days and not being solidified with your payment processing. So, you're floating 50K checks here for inventory, $100,000 days here, and you get a Stripe reserve, or you get a chargeback ratio that exceeds 1%. So these ebbs and flows of the dropshipping or e-commerce community, no matter what industry you're in, sweepstakes, continuity, straight sale, Nutra, is what makes it so exciting. And I fail to see too many gurus really taking notes of the steps or the hurdles that they're jumping over as they're jumping over them. And you don't really realize how far you've gone until you look back. If you could just walk a little bit slower along the path, it's going to provide you with so much more value over your course or over your destination. The destination might be becoming a millionaire. Your destination might be retiring your parents. Your destination might be $50 million. Whatever that figure is for you, if you're just sprinting there, that's not going to have the same feeling at the end as if you just casually walk there. And it might take you longer, but you're only against yourself in this race of financial freedom. And that's one thing that I wish I took more time to do when I was scaling massively, is to really calculate and understand what I'm doing during those periods so that I understood it from a sort of if this then that perspective, rather than just keeping it all inside of my head and then providing coaching and consulting and then unlocking it for myself along those coaching and consulting calls, because I just assume that everybody knows how to do everything, but that's not the case. Coaching and consulting for me is almost a form of therapy. It's very therapeutic for me to relay and backtrack my journey and experience those problems again for the second time or the third time through your eyes, because I've gone through those things and I understand what to do in those moments and how to be of value in those moments when I didn't have that throughout my journey. So that's something that I get a lot of pride from now as a 28-year-old who's been doing this since 18. And I think that's something that is unique to my perspective in the scene, is to have just sticking with dropshipping along the way. And I love backtracking and looking at it from the perspective of, oh wow, what a journey and what a story. And for those of you guys who are on your first year, second year, fifth year, I challenge you to look back and to study your mistakes and to sharpen your sword, because just like a chef will continue to use his cutting techniques that he learned in culinary school as a Michelin star chef, or as a musician will continue to play the same notes that they learned when they were in their parents' or in their childhood bedroom when they first picked up the guitar or they first started playing the piano, or a bodybuilder when he still does the same lifts that he did when he was first starting and now he's huge all of a sudden. You follow the same fundamentals as you're progressing throughout your journey, and it's important for you guys to recognize these characteristics and make adjustments and to find the right people to walk the same path with you, because as I'm walking ahead in my journey, I want to leave the path behind me a little bit more flat for the people who are going to walk next, and to make their path a little bit easier along that journey that's ahead of them. And I do that through FutrGroup, and it's become a massive impact on my life and something that I'm very proud of, and something that has provided me a lot of insight as an individual navigating all of the problems that arise existing to this day in the e-commerce space, and being able to come out with solutions tailored to those specific problems. So yeah, a little bit of a different video here, more of just a rant. I had some time and I thought I'd chat with you guys and do this a little bit more often. And if you guys have any questions or any of your own inputs that you'd like to relay to me, my Instagrams are always open. I message everybody. If you reach out to me, I'll respond back. So I'd love to keep this conversation flowing. And yeah, thank you guys for watching, and talk to you guys soon. Take care.